Well, I'm really excited for today's video. I have my good friend and client John back with me. In case you didn't see the previous video we did, we talked all about travel hacking and retirement, or incentive travel, I guess. There's different types of
Reward travel.
Yep, reward travel. And this is very important to me because a lot of people I meet with that want to set up a great retirement include travel as a part of that. And that's a really big deal for a lot of people. And so the reason why we spend so much time with incentive travel, reward travel, is because when you look at the cash flow for retirement, there's only so much to go around.
Right.
And so this is a great way to open up a whole new realm of improving your quality of travel or the frequency of travel without having to break the bank. And there's really some smart strategies to it. You seem to be somebody who's excelled in this area. In fact, you took an amazing trip to Europe with Rebecca that I want to do like a case study on. And so that's what I asked you to come do today, was like break down your trip to Europe, because I think a lot of people, they see it, they know it's a good idea, but they're intimidated by it.
Right.
It's hard to get started.
It is.
Yeah.
It's can be overwhelming. There's as I said in the last video, there's a couple different ways you can play this game. Mm-hmm. But a recent trip was spurred by the trip we had earlier to Spain. We had a great time in Spain, and we wanted to get back to Europe as quick as we can. So we had to decide where to go. So we were talking, and we decided on Ireland. Nice. And so I joined a couple of these websites that do searches for you.
Yeah.
They just constantly do it, and you get yourself on a subscription list.
Okay.
And then when something breaks, they send out an email, and it's kind of first come, first serve.
Okay.
So we decided on Ireland.
These are sites where they're shopping for like the best flight prices.
They're constantly scanning. Some of them use computers to do it, programs to search different things. Some of them use actual people that go around and
oh wow.
get
Can you give an example of one of them, like that you like?
The one I used here was Thrifty Traveler.
Okay.
They have a free version, but it's it's delayed getting it. I recommend you pay for it. You get notifications right away, and I think they use a computer, and they have people that verify it, and they verify everything.
Okay.
They don't send out stuff that's phantom space. So that does happen a lot. I mentioned that the last time.
Yeah.
But what they do is when they find something, they assign it to somebody. He gets in there, looks on the computer, finds it, calls the airline, how many are there, and then they'll shoot out the email.
So it's verified.
It's verified. You pretty much can take it to the bank.
Okay.
That's one of the things I like.
Thrifty Travel. Now, would you sign up for this if you had a big trip coming up that you knew about, or do you just stay on this all the time?
I'm on it all the time.
Okay.
I signed up for the year. It was,
okay.
I think I got it for like $50 for the year.
Oh, that's
something
great.
like that. I mean, it was pretty cheap.
Yeah.
They were running a promo at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
So anyways, we made the decision to go to Ireland, and then boom, it was like 3 days later, I got a email saying, Ireland, 15,000 points on Flying Blue, which is the frequent flyer program for KLM Airlines and Air France. They both share it. You can use those on either one of them.
Okay, so 15,000 was round trip to Ireland.
No, 15,000 was one way.
One way, that makes more sense. Okay. I was like, that's crazy. Yeah.
And the nice thing about Thrifty Traveler is that when you get the email, it breaks it down how you do it.
Oh, nice.
So it'll tell you, it says in there they allowed stopovers, and just to tell you what a stopover is, most people that have traveled know what a layover is.
Right.
When you're traveling to your original destination and you got to stop somewhere for a few hours before you travel on.
Yeah.
Well, a stopover is the same thing except longer. It's usually 24 hours or more. Some airlines allow you to use that to your advantage, and you can book an extra trip out of it, an extra stay where you're stopping if you want to.
Yeah.
Instead of being a few hours, you can be there for, each one is different, but some are up to a month, some are several months, some are just 72 hours.
Yeah.
So it said you could do up to 30 days, but you had to call in. So okay, so I immediately jumped on it, and I got on KLM's website because I want to verify. I found the flights I wanted, and I called, got somebody right away. I'll warn you when you got to call airlines, the customer service is not not always great.
Yeah.
You always got to spend some time. Prepare to spend at least an hour online or on the phone talking to them or waiting.
Yeah.
So, but somebody picked up, and I had it all up, ready to go, so I was able to pick my flights. Now, when I was booking the flight from Ireland to Paris, the flight I wanted was more than that wasn't within the 15,000 budget. It was going to be more.
Okay.
So I said, well, let's just put everything on hold. It was going to be a lot more. I said, let's put everything on hold. I said, I want to think about that one for a while.
Yeah.
So we put everything on hold, and you could do that for, again, it varies by airline, but this one was 24 to 48 hours. So I put everything on hold, talked it over with my wife, and we decided we wanted to move it to a different one. So
Okay.
I called back, and again, got lucky, got somebody right away. We changed the flight. So we had everything on hold, so I had it up on my phone. I transferred all the points over from Capital One into Flying Blue, and the guy saw it right away, and he just booked it. And I started getting emails, your reservation's confirmed, your reservation's confirmed. And instead of being, so it should have been, if we had done the cheapest, 15,000 each way for each of us, it would have been 60,000. Our trip ended up being about 75,000, but we got the flights we wanted that were going to work best for us.
That's good. So you got to go to Ireland and Paris.
Yeah, so the trip was, we had to fly out of New York, so I still had to get from Phoenix to New York.
Okay.
So we flew from New York, JFK, to Amsterdam, and we spent 3 days, 2 nights in Amsterdam.
Oh, okay.
So, and then we flew from Amsterdam to Ireland. Ireland, we were there 7 days, and it was going to be a road trip, basically. We were renting a car and we were driving.
Yeah.
So
Going all over the.
So we did that,
Yeah.
and then we flew from Ireland to Paris. Again, 3 days, 2 nights.
Nice.
And then we flew back to JFK, and then we ended up spending 3 nights, 4 days in Manhattan.
So you got Manhattan, you got Amsterdam,
Right.
you got Ireland and Paris, all
Yes.
in one trip.
All in one trip. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
It was epic. We were tired when we got home. We had a great time, but we were very tired when we got home. But it was a lot of fun.
That is amazing. And you did all that on, what do you think ballpark points wise? How much? Because you got.
It was 75,000 points for the Europe part.
Okay. For the airlines.
And then from Phoenix to New York, we flew. It was American Airlines, and I booked on the way there. I used British Avios, British Airways.
Okay.
So I booked it on British Airways,
Okay.
not American Metal. That was, I think, 32,000 points one
Okay.
way for both of us.
So you're looking at about 100,000.
Yeah,
Points.
and then we
back.
booked. Then I had American Airline points, and I think it was cheaper coming back.
Coming back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Did you use any points for the hotels while or Airbnbs?
in New York,
Okay.
everything in New York was on points.
Okay.
So when we flew to New York, we flew out the day before,
Yeah.
and we spent just the night at a hotel by the airport. And
Yeah.
I had points for the Marriott, and then for the 3 nights in New York, I had free night certificates from Marriott.
Oh.
So we stayed at a Marriott in Times Square, right in Times Square.
That's so
It
cool.
was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing.
That's so awesome.
Bring
So-
earplugs though if you stay. Because if New York truly is a city, it doesn't sleep. It certainly doesn't sleep in Times Square. It was loud
At
and
night?
bright. Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
yeah, it never let up. Yeah.
But that's what's so cool about reward travel is like that's a trip for some people of a lifetime.
Yes.
I mean that's an
Yeah.
amazing, incredible trip, and you did it all for pretty reasonable.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
and so what's been fascinating me about reward travel lately is you can try to go the route where you cover everything with rewards, or you could do what you did where you say, hey, let's get most of it covered
Right.
and then spend a little bit, but still
Right.
have a good amount covered, but do it on our terms the way we want to do
Right.
it. I love that. That's so awesome. That's incredible. And I think what's really encouraging about that is like 100,000 points is not that hard to get with
No,
bonuses.
it is not.
I mean, that's
Especially when you do a sign-up bonus when
Right.
you first get a card.
Yeah.
You're getting pretty much that right there
Right.
on most cards.
Yeah, and so with a little bit of research and time and some work, and I mean, you can really.
It is a lot of research and
Yeah,
time. You do put it in on that end.
Yeah.
But yes, but so worth it.
Yeah.
So worth
Yeah,
it.
that's incredible. That's the message. Is it's encouraging, and people can do it if you take a little bit of time.
Right.
And I think just starting, I think where would you point somebody to if they were like, that all sounds incredible, but how do you even like get started in this? Like, how would you learn? Like, where was the first place you went to learn about this stuff?
The first place I went to, I started off at the Points guy. He's kind of like, he was like kind of the first one to start this.
Yeah.
And he's good. But the one I would recommend right now is it's a place called 10X Travel. And
Okay.
he actually developed an online course that you take at your own pace.
Oh.
I mean, it's not really there's no like instructor on the other end, but it's all laid out.
Nice.
Everything you do, you take a little quiz and then you move on.
Nice.
And it really spells it out step by step.
Yeah.
What you got to do. You know, you're not going to get it on your first go around, so you're going to have to go back, and it's there for you to go back and look at how to do it. And, stuff like that. And then the other one I would recommend that's been very helpful is a Ward Travel 101, and it's just a group of travel enthusiasts that will help you if you got a question.
Yeah.
Chances are it's been answered, so you can just search and probably find your answer.
Yeah.
But if you don't, or you can't find it, then just throw it out there, and you'll probably have 20, 30 responses giving you the best option for you. So
that's awesome. Those are two great resources. Let me ask you this, because this always fascinates me, and you've been teaching me so much in our meetings lately that I want to ask this. In our last meeting, you had brought up the idea of it's important to earn the points, but it's also important to redeem the points properly.
Yes.
How would you give me a couple of examples? Because you were telling me about there's different sites. Like, I use American.
Yes.
And then you were telling about these two sites that I'd never heard of, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I should know about those. So when it comes to redeeming, can you give us an example? Like, let's use American as an example. What would be some other sites besides just the main one you go on to check your points and your status?
Okay, so for American, if you're going to earn American points, they have a whole ecosystem, if you will. You can earn American airline points, miles, on your hotel stays. They have like a separate portal for that where you go in there and it'll list like the hotels they have. It'll list how much the hotel costs, cash-wise, but it'll also tell you how many points you get. And you can really shop around and get some great deals and get a lot of points that way.
They have them for hotels and cars?
Cars and restaurants.
Oh, really?
I use the one for restaurants because it's simple.
Oh, nice.
You just got to register your credit card with them.
Yeah.
And then you don't do anything. If the restaurant is participating in the program, you'll get an email before you're done, after you pay, but before you get to your car, you'll have an email saying, oh, you earned X amount of miles for American Airlines for eating at so-and-so.
That's crazy.
You have to go in and rate it to get the points. And it's like 5 questions.
Like a 5, okay.
And you submit it, and then you're done.
And
you get these 100 and some odd miles or whatever.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole world out there. It's
It's a whole.
Yeah.
And there's so many of them. Like United has their own, and Delta has theirs. But American is by far the best.
I think that's my favorite thing though. Is like once you start, that knowledge compounds.
It does.
And you start to get more comfortable, just like with anything. And then all of a sudden, you're.
I'm constantly learning. I watch videos all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like. And I can't tell you the number of times I'm probably not going to learn it, but I'll have it on in the background. Big something else. What? Wait, what?
Okay, hang on, let me check that out. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
What a great hobby to have too, because it's about experience and life and enjoying.
Yeah, it gives I'm retired, so I have a lot of time to devote to it. So this is my hobby, if you will.
Yeah.
And and it keeps me sharp. It keeps me thinking, and so it gives me something to do. I love it. I'll go in on my computer and run searches myself looking for awards.
Oh,
and
nice.
stuff like that.
Pretty soon we'll be promoting the John.
Yeah,
the
hopefully.
John
Hey,
travel
one day,
group.
who knows? Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Got a tremendous amount of value. I think the message is that this is encouraging, and you can travel to your dreams, and you can travel and realize all of your dream places you want to go in retirement if you put some time in and research it. So if anyone out there has questions or wants to learn more, I did this video right here about how you can get a ton of bonus miles and what I did to get like 200,000 miles quickly. So check that out. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Happy travels.